I think I've been spending too much time alone here at the JL Ranch. Now I got a supervisor. Folks, Lester here. Morning, folks. Lester here. Folks, Lester here. Hey, folks. Lester and Jamie here.
Good morning, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
Hold on. Oh, is my face as dirty as yours? Is my face as dirty as yours now?
Hey, yeah, you got a dirt.
Morning, folks. Lester here. Today.
Are you excited?
I'm nervous. So look who has shown up to help me today. He didn't know he's helping me. He thinks he's just come to look at the place. He and Wendy, his wife, have come by. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't even know what's about to happen. He doesn't even know what is about to happen. Looky here in the back of my truck. That would be 100 T-posts. 100 T-posts that have to be set in the ground. Come on, girls. Come on, let's go. Come on. All right, so. Is that something else? How much noise comes out of their little bodies? Y'all ever looked at a man and noticed that it looked as though his right arm was better defined than his left? A lot more definition, a lot more strength, just better looking arm. You ever wonder why? You ever wondered why? Let me show you. I'm gonna show you. I ain't even scared. I'm just gonna show you. I'm about sick and tired. And at this point, I'm just gonna show you. Choke is on. Go. Go, dang it. Yeah, that's why the right arm. Now you don't have to no longer question it. Now you know. Now you just know. No, people should know. People should know why the right arm is always it's the strong arm, Jamie. This is the strong arm. And this other left arm, it just kind of like dangles. It just dangles. And your right arm is nice and strong. It's because you spend so much time trying to crank up machinery. Things that are built for right-handed people end up making your right arm a lot stronger and more defined than your left arm. I'm just saying. I'm just calling it out the way it is. Hey, folks, Lester and Jamie here, and we are very blessed to be joining you. It's been a busy day, Jamie. Tell them all that we've done today. Tell them the round trips we've made.
We have accomplished chores and work at 3 places the last 2 days. All 3, all in the same day, and we lived to tell the story.
We have lived to tell the story. But, Jamie and I both agreed on one thing about all of the work. It's funny how you see these daunting tasks ahead of you, and you sit there and you question, how will I ever get this done? And then you start getting out there and doing a few things, be it with working with the horses or building some fence or whatever the job in front of you might be. And after a couple of days, yes, you do feel tired. You do feel the wear and tear on your joints and everything else. But you also begin to feel a little bit like it's kind of like when you first start working out. And even though it hurts, it feels good. And it feels good to see things coming along. And in saying how things are coming along, talk about Rita. Talk about Rita, that little filly over there who used to be that little wild and crazy girl.
Y'all, today specifically, big things were accomplished that she would never let us do before, even when we were holding her. And today I was able to do some treatments on her in the pasture while she just stood there with no reaction, with no repercussions, where I didn't have to corner her or she didn't get to corner me. And it was remarkable. And you actually got stuck in the I'll call it the hallway with her. And that has been a nervous place for us from the beginning because she'll typically kick around to kick you out.
Yeah.
And she didn't do any of that today. And it has been like a remarkable, very quick transition of her just overall demeanor. And it has been, I don't know, like for me, that's like number one, top of the accomplishments of the week has been Rita.
Well, to be honest, you guys, a lot of you guys kept saying that she needs a mare. Let me just say this the right way. A disciplined mare who's been trained and who's been worked with will put her in her place and can do more for her than any of us could do. And you were very right. The horse people out there who kept saying, get a mare, get her a mare, were so very right, because that mare has taught Rita a lot. And so Jamie's also discovered that if you walk inside the pasture with Rita and almost call her Starla and Stormy, Rita still wants to be number one.
Rita demands that she's going to intercept any attention, food, anything. Rita's first. And Storm kind of looks over her shoulder and is like, whatever. Like, doesn't care that Rita demands that. But go ahead.
No, it's that what you just now said reminded me of when I used to teach school. Not the older kids, but especially the younger kids. When you line them up to go to lunch or to recess or to the water fountain, restroom, some kids just want to run up and be in the front. They fight to be first place. The cool kids are like, God, I don't care here. Get in front of me. As a matter of fact, the cool kids are like, go ahead. And they prefer to be in the back. And those little nerdy kids are up in the front. I'm not calling Rita a little nerdy kid, but in a way, it is true. She's young and she's a little girl and she wants to run up there and to be in the front and like, like, yeah, look at me, I'm first. And Stormy's like,
it's coming to me anyway.
So
what does it matter?
So I'm still getting fed. I'm still getting loved on. I'm still going to be brushed and everything's going to be taken. Go ahead, And Rita just thinks she's all special up there. And at that point, once Rita gets what she thinks that she's won, she's done. She'll walk off and do whatever. And she's not following us around, harassing us.
No.
Also, if Jamie let's just, for example, that Jamie has to do something with Stormy. If Jamie will show it to Rita, let Rita look at it, let her smell it, and probably try to taste it. And once Rita knows what it is, okay. And then Jamie can go do what she needs to do.
There's a lot of people asking about Stormy's eyes, and they were better today. We still did another treatment, but Rita typically would run us out of the pasture or would be so interested. And today I just showed her the eye medicine, like, this isn't anything cool. And she was like, oh, okay, carry on. It's just very minute things that you wouldn't know unless you were intimately involved. But for us, those little things are big things because we aren't doing them. That's the thing is like, we're not enforcing that with Rita. Stormy is. Yeah. And that's like the most powerful piece of this all is that for all the time that Rita's been with us, yes, she had started to make small changes and there were days that were good, but she still had some pretty rough times. But right now, she's a different horse with Stormy, and Stormy is just incredible. Just incredible.
Yep, she's pretty amazing. We don't want to talk a whole lot about Stormy because if we do, no one's going to watch my video tomorrow. I know how it goes. But Stormy got her first ride from good old Lester, and it was wonderful. And I'm not going to say anything else about it except for she's doing wonderful. And she's almost 4 years old. So we were told by all of the experts that she's, no, Trixie, talk, Jamie, move. She's going to mess up everything up.
Stop, baby. Back up. I don't know what she wants from there.
She just wants to get over here and mess everything up. She like needs attention. Sorry, guys. We have dogs around our feet. We have cats behind us. And I know from experience that when they all start congregating, bad things are going to happen. Plugs, lights can start falling, microphones, and it's just going to be, I can already foresee bad things happening.
So there are people that are like, Stormy's too young to ride. So you don't know this. Stormy has been riding for most of her life. Yeah. And there'll be a video that comes out a little bit about her history tomorrow with pictures from the daughter of the previous owner, and to be able to share some of her history to show you that while Lester is first with us, Lester's not.
Oh,
first.
I'm not. I would never. I am way too old and too fragile to ever get on a, what do they call it? A
Greenbrook.
Greenbroke horse. Is it called Greenbroke? One that's not really broke. And even getting on Voodoo, the times when he's kind of been agitated and he's tossed me around, a man my age falling off a horse takes a lot longer to recover than a 20-year-old falling or being thrown off a horse. That is true. It takes a lot longer. As a matter of fact, just getting out of the tailgate of my truck can take a toll on me, y'all. Don't even talk about tailgates because I'll bring it up.
Just tell him it's fine because it was one of the funniest moments of this whole week. Seriously.
We've been working over at the new property, and we don't have a place to sit. So one day I put my tailgate down and I plop my behind up there. I'm like, come over here and sit beside me. Guys, you don't know the struggle of her.
Because it's so tall. It's so tall. Okay, so the tailgate comes to like here, okay? And when's the last time you tried to lift yourself up with nothing when your bottom half is bigger than your top to get to that height? It was not pretty. And Lester had to grab me by my belt loops. And
she's laying on her belly and like half in and half out. Her feet are like dangling. And I have to grab her by I give her probably the worst wedgie she's ever had. And I'm pulling her just so we could sit side by side in the back end of the truck.
Oh, it was
and
awful.
Look around. It was horrible for both of us.
There's nothing to grab onto. So I'm like a flounder,
we'll never do
like
that
a
again.
fish out of water.
We should probably invest in a table and some chairs to take out. So
it was so
that'll
bad.
never happen.
Oh, no. It's one of those moments I'm like, thank God this isn't a first date. Thank God he already loves me because I cannot imagine how horrible that I look right now.
Wow. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
So yeah, getting into the truck is easier than getting out for me, and vice versa for Jamie. She can get down, no problem, but getting up was a 5-minute ordeal. No, I'm not exaggerating.
I was determined. Like he's like, just forget it. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was trying to say, stop, just stop, because her pants were pulled up to her top, her boobs. By the time I was that wedgie was something, and I'm trying to pull with all my might, and she's just kicking and kicking and kicking. Someone says camel toe. Okay, yeah, something like that. But
there were things in places that just weren't supposed to be, and I got to giggling while it's happening, and he's trying to drag me up there, and my face is planted down on the tailgate. Like it was a spectacle, and I'm so thankful that no one got to see it.
Today, Fire Chief Chris and his wife Wendy came out to visit, and we get to show them around a little bit. Sister Tina and Rob came out to visit for a little bit. And no, everyone is just as enchanted with this property as we are. I don't know. Now, you guys who live in the Midwest, you have probably stood and seen an open 50 acres plenty of time where it's not as weird to you all. But for us who have, we have so many trees through here. And it's very rare where you can stand on your property and see the entirety of it. And it looks so darn vast. And of course, I walked the entirety of it, which is funny, checking all of my fences. But no, we're just so very blessed, you guys, just so very blessed. And I don't know, it just seems quite surreal. I had this same feeling when we got Longhorn Lester's. And now to get, this property over here, a few miles north of here, and it's just so beautiful with the hills and the ponds and the few trees that we have, the nice, big, shady, or the pecan trees.
There are pecan there.
Something else happened today that I could share a little video.
Oh, God.
It's just actually funny. You talk for a couple of minutes. Give me a chance to find it and stick it on here.
So something about this property is magical. And that's not like me just saying it because it's ours. There's
glasses.
It looks like just a big open field. But the more that we explore it and are there, the more that I keep finding. And today was one of those days. And if you watch my channel, you saw about the pecans, but also like things around the barns, things around the ground, the trees themselves, the fences, the corners, the animals on the sides. Like I keep finding more and more things that lead to so much intrigue that I didn't expect. When you buy a pasture, And that's the intention of it. You really think to yourself like, okay, it's a pasture. We'll check all the fences. We'll bring all the cows, and it's a pasture. There's no home to explore. There's one old barn. There's not a lot of meat to it, you know. And all of a sudden, when you get walking around, like you really start to like I don't know I've fallen in love. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. I know all about falling in love with something that's is it called innate? It's something that's not alive, but it is alive. And now, of course, I've been focused in falling in love with things along one stretch of fence. I have been focused on one stretch of fence in particular for the last several days. And so that's where I have fallen in love. I have fallen in love again with, there's new animals to fall in love with, some really cute ones and stuff. But no, absolutely. I've just, done a few things inside the barn that I've discovered that I've put on my page. But let me show you what happened today if I can. I'm working, and I hadn't heard from Jamie in the last hour or so. She had checked in at some point, said, "Did I need any help?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm doing good. You do what you're doing." And at some point, I'm on my side by side, and I had driven up to the barn to get some tools. And as I loop around, what I saw was, I thought, a woman who was in distress, probably having a stroke or a heart attack. And if you watch the video, and you'll see why. That little black dot right there under that tree. Yeah, that little black dot in the shadow of that tree. Keep your eye on that black dot, okay? That's Jamie. What is she doing on the ground? I thought she had a chest pain.
I can't put you videos there.
What are you doing? I thought you had a stroke. Oh, Lord. Are they edibles?
Yeah.
Well, so she's sitting there picking pecans off the ground. And
you know how hard it is to just walk and bend over and bend over. You basically become like an upside down view of the ground. So I just started crawling around, and
there are several people talking about pecan picking, and then there's a couple who are also saying those are toxic to your cows. No, they're not. Pecans are actually good for your cows, your horses, pigs, deer,
even dogs.
Even dogs. Pecans are fine. Now, I think that what you probably get mistaken is, if you try to feed, if a pecan tree falls over and cows eat the green leaves, dried leaves are fine. Mm-hmm. They're not going to eat them because they don't like them. But if a pecan tree was to fall over and your animals eat the green leaves of a pecan tree, those are in fact toxic, and enough of them could make your cows or your animals sickly. But pecans themselves have been actually used in a lot of feeds. They will grind them up.
And the pecan shells specifically are an excellent forage.
Yeah. So let's not argue about this and that and stuff. Jamie's picking pecans, and guys, there have been cows living on that property for the last 25 or 30 years. And you saw the ones that came off of there, and they're as fat and healthy as we've ever seen any cows post drought.
Yeah.
And so we are not concerned at all. So we're not even going to entertain the pecan theories of, oh my God, pecans. Let's not do that. Just be blessed that we have pecan trees, good shade trees, and Jamie's on the ground picking pecans. Lord. And she had piles of them. Now, there were some problems with some of the pecans.
Some of them were probably from last year, or were still in the hole. So those are no good, but we're trying them out. It surprised me because of how small they are. For a giant tree, I'm used to a little bit bigger pecan, but this is just a native pecan. I don't think this is anything that was planted. So there's no like hybrid form to it that made it big, or paper shell or anything like that. It's just a native pecan tree. And I only made it to one tree today, but we have about 12. that I've counted so far.
I
So
gotta
you
do
can bet
something.
I'm going to be crawling around on the floor or on the ground and getting to know a little bit more. And one of the coolest things, and I didn't put this in a video so I can say it here, as I'm out there and I'm brushing away the leaves to be able to see what pecans have fallen, there is deer, what do you say? Deer scat? Is that how you call it?
Yeah.
Deer scat. So we have seen white-tailed deer out there, but now I know that they pretty much hover around at least that pecan tree and are doing a lot of grazing right there.
Jamie, there's a lot of folks who are laughing at us for
I
the
know,
way we're
there's two ways.
pronouncing pecans.
There's two ways.
So I'm going to just find it. I'm just curious how Google says pecan, because all you're saying, it's pecan
Some
pie.
say pecan.
Pecan. Guys, we're going to find out what Google says. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I don't apologize, okay? I'm not going to apologize for saying it the way I've been brought up to say it. But I am curious, aren't you?
Pecan.
Oh, my God! OMG! You heard it with your own ears. Did you hear it? Uh-oh. So someone saying that Lester says it wrong might want to go visit Google, because Google knows everything. Let's hear it again.
Speech Modification presents how to pronounce pecan.
Oh my gosh, Jamie, can you believe that?
I
There
just
are
think
some
that
people right now that are
that
so
was gonna,
mad.
That was going to be my question of the day
Oh.
tomorrow.
No, Jamie, I messed up your question.
I asked already in a video, I swear. I have it ready to post tomorrow. So tomorrow you better still answer. That's all I'm saying is you better still answer.
Pecan
Or
or pecan?
or pecan. I don't know. It's for me, it's pecan. But it could be all kinds of ways.
Hey,
so
if you want to say
tomorrow.
pecan, I'm not going to judge. Go on with your pecans. But Google says pecan. I say pecan. And so who cares? But you know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about, y'all.
I'm just excited to have
I'm
them
so
in
sorry
my
you
life.
didn't know the right way, though. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that y'all are getting it wrong.
Have you ever cracked one before and eaten it out of the shell?
Absolutely.
I didn't know
I don't
that.
like all the work. Cracking a pecan is a whole lot like eating a crawfish. Am I saying that wrong too?
Crayfish, crawfish.
A crawfish is too much work for a little bit of sustenance, in my opinion. A lot of work. But you say that a good pecan should come right out without having to work a whole lot.
Mhm.
I've never had a good pecan because the pecans that I eat have to be dug out of there, and I don't like all that work.
So the Illinois pecans that I'm used to from my grandparents' farm, it basically takes a crack and you can pull it all the way out. And they actually have companies up there where they just do pecan cracking. Isn't that crazy? And then they come back to you and you pick them all out, or they will do the same thing if you pay for it. But they're a big deal up north. So like for me, this is like nostalgia heaven, and is like opening up all kinds of memories in my life. And I'm just excited to, crawl on the dirt and really, really get to know our land.
How many of them trees are over there? Because there's more than just that one.
So I counted 12 so far, but I have not made it. I have not done anything up front on that side to check and count any of those. So that's just in the back half.
Well, what we're not going to invest in is a tree shaker, y'all. We're not doing the whole tree shaking kind of thing. We will shake a limb.
These are really big trees, though, too. These are giant trees. These are old.
We'll shake a limb if we need to, but we ain't going to tree shake. We're just going to have some fun with the few that we need. And now, do you make pies? You never made a pie. Do you make the pecan pie?
I can make a pecan pie, but I prefer like a crumble. I like to make candies with them, but I love to eat them just to eat them.
Now, there was something that you used to make for me when we tried that keto diet, and I believe it was crusty crumble with some pecans.
So I made the pecans into a flour and made the crust out of pecans butter.
Okay,
salt.
And those are delicious, and those are pretty healthy, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that was
those
a
will
long time
probably
ago.
come back into our life too. But it was just a really neat discovery, and to be able to.
There's a lot of recipes popping up over here. I hope you know the pecans. There are a lot of folks who do some really neat things with them.
I'm gonna get into it, I promise you. And then I kind of thought like maybe I'd section off a whole other spot for an orchard, and we would grow some other nuts, like that we can grow cashews and almonds, maybe.
Pecans, caramel, dipped in chocolate. Woo wee, Jamie, what are we getting ourselves into here?
We're gonna need to walk
we
that faster.
just bought the pasture for the grazing, okay? For the grazing. I had no idea we're going to get into the whole pecan
It's
business.
a big deal.
No, I do think that Jamie's right though on things being seasonal, because on the side of the road here, what I'm seeing a whole lot of are people selling oranges and people selling pecans. Sometimes the same folks will pull over and have their little side of the road
Mhm.
vendor, and oranges must be this time of year, is it?
Yeah, citrus is ripe right
Okay,
now.
so oranges and pecans. What? I don't mind how you say it, guys. Please don't care how I say it. You know what I'm talking about. But they must be in season right now, and so we got several of them trees on the property. But no, the ponds are full. We got our ryegrass all planted, or the seed was thrown out yesterday. We hope to get some rain tonight, which will help that stuff begin to germinate. Got a lot done on the long stretch of fence.
I picked up quite a bit of the fallen limbs and things in that. I don't know what to call that area. It's the tree area, like a courtyard
Grove.
area.
We'll call it the
The
Grove.
Grove.
The Grove.
Oh,
So
in the Grove, I picked up a whole bunch of fallen limbs and just old things that were, just tossed to the side there, and really got that ready. And I can't believe I said it before Lester, but I kind of can't wait to burn that pile of stuff.
I don't want to burn yet because there's no running
Yeah,
water.
we haven't made water yet.
We
so.
have to do all of the water. Now, I'm not talking mess about anything, but I'm not talking mess. I am so darn blessed for the property, but I will say that the water company, there's not a water well, so you have to get city water. And so the city water department is not really up to date. They're not really up to date. So you can't do things electronically. You can't pay with a credit card. You have to either do a money order, a personal check, or cash.
Here's the best part. They're open 2 hours a day.
And they're open 2 hours a day. So we will have to work around Jamie's schedule and get in there and give them our check or our money order. And then I told Jamie, I bet you, how much you want to bet that they're probably the same kind of people. And I'm sure they're great folks who they probably send you a bill every month, and you have to open that mail, and then you have to write them a check and send it back in. And so that'll be fine. We'll be fine.
We
don't
will
care.
comply.
We will comply. We're absolutely going to comply. But it is a little bit weird in a time, an era that we're living in where everything is done just electronically with credit cards over the phone or online, and you don't have that access with your water. But it is what it is. We are so happy with this property. And on one side, this is really amazing. On one side, the wooded side of the property, all of that is owned by TxDOT, which, if you don't know, that's the Texas Department of Transportation. And so they're the ones that manage, I guess, run that entire rest stop. And so they own all the property back behind it, that means that side of the property
will never be anything other than what it is.
No, it'll forever stay wooded, and which is great for us. That means my cows will never have temptations to go over there. And so we're so happy about that. The backside of the property, I'm sorry, let's go across the road. In front of the highway where the woods are at is owned by the Alabama Coushatta Indian Reservation. And so I can't foresee, now they could always build a casino, but I'm not going to complain about that, because if that happens, guess what happens to the property value of our land? So the Alabama Coushatta Indians own all of the property in front of our property across the highway. Now, there is a guy who has some cows on the side that I'm working on right now. We've not met him, but there's some donkeys, some horses, and some shorthorn cows, which are some really neat cows who live there. And they're just getting to know me. And they don't like me yet. They don't understand what I'm doing. But I'll tell you what, I did run a strand of wire today that is about 5.5 foot high. And they're all like saying, they're all like doing like, what are you doing up there? I'm like sitting here like working at, head level. And they're all like, what are you doing, weirdo? Oh, they don't know how my cows can jump. They have no idea how my cows can jump.
There are, of course, the donkeys that you saw in the beginning.
Oh, everyone knows his name is Toby.
Yeah.
Y'all remembered that? I'm so happy y'all remember that. Yes, his name is Toby, and he's the bull. And I can already tell you that we're going to have some trouble with Toby, which was the name of my video.
Yes. But there's some horses as well and some donkeys. And I spent some time yesterday trying to get to know them. You'll see that video this week as well. they like Lester.
People are saying that city water is expensive. I have no idea.
It just depends. I mean, so here's the thing. There are 2 ponds on top of this. So, and we're not refilling like for pigs like we did at the
Oh
sanctuary.
no, nothing's gonna get it dirty. We'll do once a week refill like we do for the
And
cows
I would
now.
say eventually we'll probably dig a well, but we really like that's not phase 1 of this project at all.
No.
This is that there is city water available, and I just have to make it there during that 2-hour window that they're open. Oh, by the way, she goes to the post office sometime during that 2 hours, so she'll be out of the office during that time. I'm not kidding. And she's like, just wait at the door. Oh, okay. So we'll get that done. But then then that turns water on for us to be able to get rid of some of the stuff, do some cleanup, be able to hook up the bathroom, like all of those things. What?
I lost it. So you know what? Believe it or not, I've gotten this a lot.
Really?
A lot of people are saying that Toby looks like a Spanish fighting bull or a Mexican fighting bull or some kind of a fighting bull. And that might be true.
He's not a fighter.
But no, he's a sweet little guy. Well, he's not really a little guy. But here's the thing. I've gotten a whole lot of messages with links that I won't open. But some folks are funny that says, I know you won't open a link, so here's a screenshot. And they will send me a screenshot of exactly what kind of cows they are. So if you want to look up, you remember what it was called? It's a shorthorn. It's the Texas Shorthorn.
You sent it to me in text, and that's probably the last
Okay.
text you sent me.
Well, I will tell you now, I'm pretty sure. I'll read it off to you if you give me a second. I got to find my text to Jamie. Will you take that comment off of there?
Yeah. It wasn't a shorthorn. It was like a mix of.
I don't have my glasses.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're called Piney Woods cattle.
Piney Wood cattle.
Which
you can
to
Google
me-
Piney Wood cattle.
Piney Woods is where we're at. So the East Texas is full of piney woods, which you would imagine is full of pine trees. That's where it gets its name. Anyway, it's a hardy breed with strong disease and parasite resistance, tolerance to heat, excellent mothering ability, and longevity. They have broad and biodiverse foraging appetite, thriving on variety of forages at Ozark acres like brambles, greenbrier, kudzu, private grass, and even poison ivy. So essentially, and there was one more that you sent me about that
Right
they
above
were.
it.
So they're the mix, okay, of they were Spanish colonists established low input, extensive cattle ranching systems similar to those in Spanish ranching, and the Piney Woods, Florida Cracker, Texas Longhorns, and other breeds that were developed in the Americas are called the Criolla cattle. So anyway, but it's a piney wood, and it's hardy like a longhorn, essentially.
And if you look at the pictures that they sent, guys, that is exactly what there is living next door. There's no doubt about it. So I'm not trying to promote my own channel, but a lot of people are saying that where's this Toby, and I haven't seen this video and all this kind of stuff. Guys, if you don't know, there is more than just one channel. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary is in fact the main channel, but Jamie has kind of found her a niche, and I have kind of found me a niche. And so even though we do post every single day, twice a day, to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, we also post to 2 other channels. Jamie's channel, From Suits to Boots, which is focused mostly on Jamie, her lifestyle, her interest, her hobbies. It's all about Jamie. All Jamie. I'm kidding. Plants and horses and all of the things that Jamie is really, really invested in. And then Lester also has his own channel, which is called Longhorn Lester's, which is really all about Lester. Not me, but my interest, with the longhorns, the big birds, the ostriches, things like that. So if you feel like you're missing out on something, you might be just watching I'm a Survivor only and not knowing there's a whole lot more going on in our lives. And Toby, in fact, is the bull who we met a couple of days ago.
He's the neighbors. He's not ours.
He's not ours. He's the neighbors, but he's come up and he's going to be trouble. And so I can tell you right now, he's going to find out that no matter how much trouble he wants to start, he's not going to penetrate through my fencing. So he's going to try. It's funny, and I hate to keep rambling so much. That's very unlike me. But I met the fella when he came to get his cows who were on the property. We talked for a while, and he said that, he's gotten phone call after phone call from the Polk County Sheriff's Department. They call him at night saying, your cows are out. Your cows are out. Your cows are out. He lives 45 minutes away. He said he'd get dressed and he'd drive over there, and they were never his cows. They were the guy next door's. What's wrong? And so we already know that the cows next door might be trouble, but we are building, I can't wait to show you tomorrow. We are building us a heck of a fence, and it will keep our cows in and keep other cows out. So you don't have to worry about anything about our cows getting out. They're not going to. They are not going to. Fences are secure. They're tight. They're built right. And gates will be locked. And I mean locked. All right. So enough about all of that. What happened? You went over there and just jumped on somebody real fast.
It was a spammer.
Oh,
link.
spammer. Okay. Jamie's eye rolls are epic. She can talk with her eyes, y'all. She can say a picture speaks 1,000 words and her eyes can speak 10,000 words, just one look. All right. I will hush up for a minute. Go ahead.
People have been asking about Tilly. I know that you made a video. I also made a video. Mine's not posted yet. I don't know if yours did.
Yes, it has. So you want to wait about Tilly's fine.
Yeah, Tilly's fine.
Medically, Tilly's fine. We saw the same video some of you all saw. We saw her cough. We also saw a little bit of a look of a pain. Animals can make look that looks a little bit pained. And we saw that video. We also see Tilly. We've seen her Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 days in a row. We spent hours over there, and Tilly's fine, friends. As a matter of fact, we are pretty sure. I hate to even say it.
I hate to say it too. Like, don't count down the days, but
do not start a countdown. But Tilly, I think that Tilly's going to have a baby. And so what I think that you saw were labor pains.
Or just fat pains. Because let's be honest, she doesn't have a lot of room for extra.
But the thing is,
I mean, fat from being pregnant, not fat from being fat. I mean, like, she was already a big girl, and now she's growing things.
I know. We're not going to bet you. Someone says, let's have a bet. We're not going to bet you. We're not that sure.
Don't you know we're wrong about most things? Like it's better for us to bet against what we think in the first place, because it's more probable that's going to go down.
That much is true. But Ellie and Megan are planning on taking her to the vet just to check on her, follow up. But, this is something that I'll tell you that I talked about in a video I've not posted. But and this was really kind of in just a defense of all animals. And a lot of people are real quick to, when they see like a goat that might be having an issue, you can't just pick up a goat on any day of the week, any hour of the day, and run down to the emergency clinic that's open 24 hours. Guys, they don't work on goats. They take dogs and cats only.
The emergency vets.
Vets only do dogs and cats. And so if your vet is not on call at your vet's office, you can't just pick up and run to the vet the way a lot of folks assume that you can. And
most vet's office don't have on-call hours anymore either.
No.
There's a shortage of it. And that's, I mean, our current human healthcare struggles with things like that, and then to take it to a vet level where they're one human being or maybe two in a practice, and they just aren't doing that anymore these days. It's just not a thing. And the emergency vets places that they have in Houston and things like that are for dogs and cats.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have. And so I think that sometimes you don't understand that the urban lifestyle that a lot of folks live is very, very different than the rural lifestyle. And so when you live out in, a not very populated part of town, things are not the same. It's not the same as what you might be familiar with. And that was never more evident than when we were talking about a lot of the dogs in the neighborhood, and everyone kept screaming and hollering and demanding that we call animal control. And I get it in your cities and towns, and I'm hoping no matter what country you live in, you do have good animal control that'll come out and help those animals and pick them up, get them off the streets, give them a meal. But unfortunately, in some places, we don't have animal control. You don't have that. And so, and I never realized that people didn't realize that. So not everyone spends their tax dollars the same.
It's
And
true.
so-
And it's just a hard battle to fight. And we just do our best with, the resources that we have and the connections. We have excellent vets who have been kind enough to give us their cell phone numbers and can talk us through things. But even some of the big things, like I think back to the night of Dixie, whenever she, like, way back almost a year ago now, where she had that horrible night out here in the pasture, and so many people like, call your vet, call your vet, call your vet. They can't do anything if they come out here. It would have been find a way to get her in, and we don't live 5 minutes from the vet. And even then,
and you don't take and drag a 1,500-pound horse into a trailer, y'all. You would put them through that. You don't do that. So sometimes you got to think things through and see it from other perspectives. But what we can do is something that every vet and even your pediatric doctors will tell you. Look at your kids or your pet's demeanor. If they're eating, if they're still doing the same things they would normally do, despite having a cough, despite having different things you may see, if they have an appetite, they're probably going to be okay. They're not in as dire a situation
it's
as
one of the
what you
first questions they ask. Are they eating?
Are
or
they
drinking?
eating? Are they drinking? And so Tilly, for as pained as we all were by seeing her cough or hearing her cough, and then seeing her make a strange stretch, guys, when it was time to eat, she was the first one in line. She was the first one in line.
She also rammed me that day when I tried to look at things.
Oh yeah. So
So-
we have to always do that. We look at the animal's demeanor and their behaviors the same way when we had little kids, and kids can't talk. They can't tell
Well,
you.
that's what I was just going to say is a lot of times when your kids are sick, you're gauging their demeanor and you're deciding, is it ER worthy? Is it urgent care worthy? Is it doctor worthy? And a lot of us are probably very different in how we view certain things. I don't think I was ever at the ER as a kid until I broke my neck in a car accident and went via ambulance. We just didn't go. You had to be dead to go to the ER because it was going to cost money. And I think that I took some of that from my own mother, because Xander never went to the ER or anything like that. Like, he wasn't a sick kid. So it would just, there were a lot of things that you would have to trust your gut on how they felt, and trust your own self to be able to care for some of those things too. And that's how I think it goes with animals. And I will say that I didn't know that until being in it. And I had no idea how much ranchers and farmers actually are so much more capable of the care for those animals because they have to be. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, because you have to be. So you spend time and attention on all of your animals. You try to catch things early if you can. Now, I believe that a lot of people are panicked and worried because Jake lost, I think, 2 goats. My dad lost a goat, all within a very short span. And so could there in fact be something going around, some kind of a parasite that we don't know about, that did not get treated when we did our dewormers? Something we heard about, this lungworm and other kinds of things. Could it? Absolutely. But our goats, if they're sick and like badly sick, they'll go stand in a corner. You all know they'll go stand and put their
Yes.
nose in a corner. Their tail will come down, and they have no zest for life whatsoever. And Tilly, even though she was coughing, and even though she may look a little bit pained, she has an absolute zest for life and a lot of fight in her. So I understand it's hard. It's hard to lose an animal, and you want to do your part and make sure that we don't lose any more. But as sure as I'm sitting here right now, more animals will be lost, and we will talk about it when that happens. You don't like it, but it is a part of farm life when you have 100+ animals that you're looking after, especially when they, a lot of them come from situations where they weren't living their best lives anyway. You know that at some point you're going to lose them all to parasites or predators or accidents or other things. The same way it is for us humans. So we give them the best life that we can, and we're never going to neglect one and not allow it access to a vet or vet care if in fact it needs it. So
she'll go to a regular vet visit, and they'll probably do stool samples and check her out to make sure she's okay. But I feel like the Tilly we saw yesterday and today was normal Tilly.
yeah, absolutely normal.
So it could have been a fluke. I don't know. Could have been. There's so many things that it could have been, but either way, we'll get it checked out, and then we'll keep going.
Yeah. So I'm going to grab somebody else we're going to talk about.
I was just going to say, there are a lot of people asking some questions.
All right. Let me get past you right there. Let's just switch seats. You sit in my seat, and I'll sit in yours. Sweetie. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here.
Y'all been asking about this nonstop.
Oh my God.
In every video.
Hi, baby.
She's so tired, Dad. She's so tired.
So I have been calling her Fostoria. Jamie's been calling her Sandy. What else? Reba.
Reba.
She's not ours to name, y'all. She's not ours to name. We kidnapped her from what we are calling a really bad home life. To us, it's kind of like if you were, sweetie, come here. Let me ask you what you would do if you were, in fact, noticing that your neighbor's kids kept getting out on the street and walking into other people's homes or their own yards. At some point, you would have to take action, right? You'd have to take action. So we trapped her twice in our traps. We caught her twice in our pastures, not being mean, but just in there. And so finally, on the fourth time that I had to take her, I says to the church kids, I said, hey, tell her owner that I have their dog. If they want her, come and get her. Her name is Shakira. She lives. And I'm like, tell her owners that I have her dog. And if they want her, come and get her. And so I stand by that. This is not my dog. I did not kidnap her. I'm holding her, feeding her. Jamie picked off. How many ticks did you pick off of her?
More than Sadie. So there were more than 40 ticks on her.
Guys, she was covered in fleas and ticks. And we treated her with a dewormer and a flea and tick control. And we are fostering her until her owner one day says, you know what? I'm going to go find my dog. I'm going to drive. All they have to do is drive across the street and say, hey, y'all have our dog. And I'll say, you know what? I have your dog. And she's going to go back to them, flea and tick clean.
We posted her on that neighbor. So that's a neighborhood. They have a community Facebook page. We posted her picture and nothing.
And we're falling in love with her, but everyone loves their foster kids. And the thing is, if you foster one, you end up fostering more. Everyone knows that. They're like tattoos. You foster a dog or a child, next thing you know, you're fostering 20 dogs or children. Is that true? Have you ever known a foster home that only has one? Ever? So we're taking good care of her.
She's very sweet and very easy to love. She's young. She really likes to go on car rides and has been to the JL Ranch. She's
helped me a lot over there. She loves to ride in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not our option to keep her. We'll keep her until they come and get her. But if they ever show up, then we'll by all means say, here's your dog. She's been fed a lot. She's happy.
Oh, she's so sleepy.
And she's so sleepy right now, I know. But she loves me.
She also loves the rest of the dogs here. And specifically Christmas is her bestest
I think
friend.
Trixie. I would disagree.
Do?
I'm going to argue and say Trixie
I think
is her best of friend. I don't know, but she's sweet. She smells so good now. She didn't smell good before, but she smells so good now, and we love her. But no, I kidnapped her. I'm guilty as charged, but I have no regret.
She has had a leg injury, like you can see, and I have made a video about this as well. It's really about she's had a hip or leg or something that has happened to her.
She has yawned over and over.
She's tired. You picked her up from sleeping.
Baby, you want to go back down? Mwah. All right. You want to keep talking about her? I'll put her back where she was at. Come on.
It's just sad to me. Sweetie. I'm going to sneeze. You have to talk. Hold on.
What happened?
I'm gonna sneeze.
Okay, Jamie's gonna sneeze, so I'm gonna talk when she says this.
Thank you.
Keep going.
She fits right in. I'll just say that she fits right in. It's sad to me that for whatever reason she found herself in the pasture, in the traps, and just not at home so many times, and that nobody's looking for her.
Well, it is on video when the last time that I got out of the pasture, I said, okay, this is the end of this. You all are my witnesses. There were 200 people in that church playground, and there were some hitting piñatas. There were kids running all around the church, and I picked up that dog, and I said in English and Spanish, tell the owner that I have her dog. If she wants her, she can come right over there and get her. And it's been over a week now, and we've heard nothing. So there is no way that that lady or the man, whoever owns her, does not know at this point where their dog's at, if they want their dog. But no.
She's here.
She's here. We got her.
She's number 8.
Yeah,
We're
we're
ridiculous.
sickos. We're
Yeah.
sickos, but we're good sick though. We're good sick.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Yep. All right. Do we have anything else? Are we that horrible? Are we really that horrible, y'all? Come on now. Well, let's talk about names. If we were to keep her, Sandy Fostoria. I say Fostoria for Foster, but Fostoria. And Jamie said, you want to go Sandy or Reba? Which one? Because you call her both.
So I picked Reba first because she had a red tint to her and just Reba. But then I learned that there are a lot of other creators that have a Reba of some sort. So Sandy made sense as well. She kind of looks Sandy.
No one
I've
is
been
saying
singing.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy is the only one that says Fostoria.
Now I've been singing Sandra D from Greece every time that I see her. So.
Oh my God. Sandy is winning by a landslide. Fostoria.
That's just great. Fostoria, come home. No.
Sandy. That reminds me of John Travolta. What's
Yeah.
his girlfriend named Sandy?
Sandra D.
Oh my goodness.
Look at me. I'm Sandra D. She's like,
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Well, Sandy it is. We will, y'all, you have absolutely, that's a landslide. That's a landslide. Someone even screams, no, Lester. Okay, fine. Sandy it is. I'll go with Sandy.
She's
Okay.
very sweet.
No, she's wonderful. She's good with the cats and the dogs. And
She's house trained.
there's one false story. Someone says, please sing, Jamie. You know
Okay.
what I told Jamie? I said, if I had the gift of singing, I would do it in every video. This is my idea for Jamie. This is not my idea for me. I know when I sing, you tune out. So it is what it is. This is funny. If I start singing at the 4-minute mark, for example, and later I look at my video and it says your average view time, 4 minutes. If I sing at the 2-minute mark, average view time, 2 minutes. When I start singing, people leave. But if I had a great voice where I could like touch people with my voice and find a way into your soul using my voice, I would sing every chance I got. I says, Jamie, what you should do is think of a song that goes with the theme of every video you're making. And she goes, that's not my style. I'm like, but you got a great voice. You need to sing it sometimes, Jamie. She
I
goes, "That's
sing
not-"
in a lot of my videos. I just whatever's in my head, that tune comes out. But I don't want to like sit down and play
Not
music
me.
and sing that theme song. On
I
top of
would
everything
sing. I would
else.
sing in every video if I could sing, but I only have one song, and I'm not doing Titanic every time I put a video on. Jamie, I'm sorry, not going to do it. Anywho, I don't have Uncle Dan's angel voice. Okay, sorry, and I certainly don't have her voice. I wish I did. I wish I did have a voice to sing. I wish I could play an instrument. I wish I could sing. I wish I had a way that I could like creep into people's soul and just touch them on the
You
inside.
do.
Have you ever heard a song and got goosebumps?
Yes.
And it's not the words, it's the way the melody touches you. This makes me think of something. Listen, so everyone knows that Ellie's mom is Spanish, right? She was born in Mexico City, moved here when she was in the 3rd grade, And so even though she speaks beautiful English, she also still has, she speaks Spanish as her first language. And so she used to have a lot of music. She used to sing Spanish songs. And there was one song. This is crazy. Now, Ellie was just a baby. And I could hold Ellie and put on music to play while I was holding him. And there was one song that would make him just cry. He would just cry, but not like I can't stand it cry. It was a sad cry. No, 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 no. I'm not making this up. I'll sing it right now. Y solo tú fuiste capaz en mi corazón. I think all the words are wrong. I'm saying all the words wrong, but there's a song. I will find it. And now I got goosebumps and now I'm going to cry. There's something about that song, and it did something to LE as a baby, an infant. And then I begin to realize that, man, I'm kind of feeling the mood too. That song would bring out the mood, a very sad, sad mood. So he goes, now I'm crying. Now, y'all, you're being mean. That is the meanest thing that they could say to me, Jamie. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you a story from my past. And anywho, bottom line is, I do think that no matter if you know the language or if you don't, or if you, the things that music can do, besides without even the words,
I would agree.
are powerful.
Absolutely.
So, wow. Now you're making me cry, Lester. I'm going to find that song.
You have different talents. Like, if we're going to talk about that, like, of course, your storytelling is remarkable and can get right in anybody's soul. But if you're talking musically, your whistle has this vibrato that is
Oh, Lord.
remarkable.
I did not prompt her to say this.
No, but it's true. You have this whistle that is like bird song like it is poetic whenever you
Bird
whistle.
song.
Yes, like it is like a, I don't know how to explain it. It just has the most beautiful vibrato and tone to it all the time. And I'll like step out from the other room and he'll be whistling and I'll be like, was that you? Like, it was just beautiful.
Well, thank you. That was sweet of you. Someone says, let's hear it, Lester. I would do it, but I make the dumbest faces. When I whistle, I suck in. I don't blow out.
Isn't that weird?
I whistle by sucking in.
That's got to be a question of the day tomorrow for you. Do you suck or blow when you whistle?
Do you suck or do you blow when you want to whistle?
I'm a blower, for the record. Brienne can't whistle. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Brienne cannot whistle.
When we get ready to end this video, I will whistle the Titanic tune.
Not the Titanic.
Not the Titanic?
Anything
How
but
about
that.
the Andy Griffith Show?
Okay, but that's not...
No, not now. Okay.
Too
fine.
soon. Too soon. No, you haven't, like, typically you'll whistle that song that you were singing. Whistle the Spanish song.
Can I look away?
You can stand right over there if you want to.
Can I stop now?
I'm sorry. Somebody else just said my ex sucked.
My ex sucked. Okay.
Somebody goes, when he whistled, you meant, right? And then you're over there, and I'm trying not to laugh because it was.
Look, all of the dogs are at my feet now.
True,
All of
okay.
the dogs have come to my feet. Like, hey, Dad, what are we doing? Where are we going? We going bye bye? I'm like, no, I'm just whistling because Mama told me to. It's been an amazing week, guys. I'll say it again. I've said it over and over, but we are so very blessed to have you guys along on this journey, and can't wait to get our cows over. And Jamie and I are talking. There may be more animals to go with them because those pastures are just too beautiful, and there's too much green not to take advantage of something. And so we're going to do more talking about that. But I think that probably people can already guess what's going to happen. But I'm not going to talk about it. Neither is Jamie, I don't think. But we will be finishing some fence and get some cows moved over in the next week or so. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Now, Jamie will come to y'all Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving is on Thursday. I will come Friday, but there ain't no one going to be sticking around to watch me live on Black Friday.
Black Friday ain't what it used to be.
It ain't what it used to be.
No.
If people online
Black Friday
shop, they
sales
might.
started like 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, it came up, and like,
Oh.
and how many TVs do people need? Because that's anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we love you guys so much. I know that we say that a lot, but I don't think you can ever say you love someone too much. I really don't think you can say it too much, but we love you guys. We don't know what we would do without you. Do I sound like I'm like trying to talk an ex-girlfriend back into my life or something? I love you. I don't know what I'll do without you. You can't. No, go ahead and finish it up, babe.
All I want to say is thank you so much for being a part of this wild and crazy journey with us, and for all of the unexpected and the things that are planned too. We're just so grateful that you're here with us to experience it, and that you put up with us.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to jump right back to where we first started. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. Here we go.
Time alone. I think I've been spending too much time alone here at the JL Ranch. Now I got a supervisor.
Folks, Lester here.
Morning, folks. Lester here.
Folks, Lester here.
Hey, folks. Lester and Jamie here.
Good morning, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
Hold on. Oh, is my face as dirty as yours? Is my face as dirty as yours now?
Yeah, you got a dirt.
Morning, folks. Lester here. Today,
Are you excited?
I'm nervous. So look who has shown up to help me today. He didn't know he's helping me. He thinks he's just come to look at the place. He and Wendy, his wife, have come by. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't even know what's about to happen. He doesn't even know what is about to happen. Looky here in the back of my truck. That would be 100 T-posts. 100 T-posts that have to be set in the ground. Come on, girls. Come on, let's go. Come on. All right, so. Is that something else? How much noise comes out of their little bodies?